Hello and welcome everyone. I'm currently on the PTS server looking at HMS Theseus that will enter testing in 13.5. It's described in game as a light carrier of the Colossus class, the most numerous class of light aircraft carriers in the Royal Navy, occupying an intermediate position between the illustrious class of heavy carriers and escort carriers. To reduce costs and expedite construction, technologies used in building merchant ships were employed, and as part of the UN forces, Theseus actively participated in the Korean War. Later she was refitted for service in a training squadron in the Home Fleet, and in 1956 the ship itself was placed in reserve. So this is the HMS Theseus, brand new Royal Navy premium carrier at tier 8. So let's start by having a quick look at the armor layout, and it is quite minimal. This Theseus is very lightly armored. 25mm deck, all 25mm. The hangar plating 19, the armor casemate 19, 21mm of side plating. This is all 19mm. 19mm fore end plating, very lightly armored indeed. We look at the ship's citadel. Here we can see the ship's citadel itself, raised. It is actually quite small, but it is raised well above the waterline. This is the citadel. Again, very lightly armored. This will take a lot of damage from every kind of HE. 25mm, anything that pens 25mm will give you full pens. This ties in to the hit points, 47,600. Again, very much on the low side when compared to other tier 8 carriers. So very lightly armored, very low hit points. Torpedo protection, damage reduction of 13%. So before we look at the aircraft stats, just let me quickly put, I am using my Andrew Cunningham captain. This is the actual build I'm currently testing. See here, just the upgrades. And this might not be 100% optimal, but just for the sake of this preview, all the stats that we are going to be looking at in the next few minutes are based on this combination of upgrades and captain skills that I'm using here at the moment. So I am going to focus with the ship bombers at the moment. So this is the build I'm using. So having all this light armor and low hit points, what is it going to offer in terms of offensive armament? 2 sets of Sea Hornets. The first one is you get 2 attack flights of torpedo bombers. These have 2,870 hit points, a flight speed of 187 knots, 222 when boosted. Important to look at the torpedo planes here in terms of consumables. You do get engine cooling, you get a fighter, and a repair party for these ones. So 2 attacking flights, 4 aircraft per squadron, 10 on deck. The prep time is 85.5 seconds and a detectability range of 9 kilometers when airborne. Each aircraft drops 2 torpedoes with a max damage of 3,600. These are quite slow torpedoes, 32 knots. They have a range of 2.4 kilometers and an arming distance of 296 meters. Moving to the skip bombers, again, the same Sea Hornets. See them here on deck. The same aircraft, slightly different parameters. They get 2,877 hit points, a faster speed of 196 knots, boosted to 234. Again, 2 aircraft per attacking flight, 6 per squadron, 12 of these aircraft on deck, a faster air prep time of 80 seconds, and the same concealment of 9 kilometers. Now again, we'll have a quick look at the consumables. These are high explosive bombs with a max damage of 13,900. These skip bombers. Very high penetration and ridiculously high fire chance. 81% fire chance. Ending 68 millimeters of armor with a max bomb damage of 13,900. So very, very high damage potential skip bombers. High explosive skip bombers. Again, you get a engine boost or engine cooling and a fighter consumable with these HE skip bombers. So just 2 types of aircraft. You also get access to depth charge airstrike. Only a 7 kilometer operational range, so quite easy for enemy subs to torp you and be immune from retribution from these depth charge airstrikes. These are activated automatically, of course, when a submarine is spotted within their operational range. In terms of AA defense, 17 of these 40mm single mounted guns, 17 of these in total, mounted here along the side of the hangar. 6 quad mounted 40mm, these Vickers Mark 8s, so 24 of these and 17 single mounted, so a total of 41 40mm guns, giving you a rating of 69. The continuous average damage is 410. Priority sector reinforcement is 35. It is most notable that there is no flak damage. No flak damage whatsoever with Theseus. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually a bug or working as intended, but there is no flak damage available here in the current stats. So, maneuverability, max speed of 25 knots, quite slow, 26.3 at tier 8. You don't want to be getting detected because you will not outrun anything at this speed. 26.3 knots, turning circle radius of 890 meters, rudder shift time of 10.7 seconds. So finally, stats wise, concealment rating of 63, a detectability range by enemy ships is 10.2 kilometers, so it is quite relatively stealthy. Detectability range by enemy submarines and aircraft is 8.7 kilometers, with a sure detectability of 2 kilometers. This is standard for all ships. So this is the HMS Theseus, another Royal Navy Tier 8 aircraft carrier. I would guess with the focus from looking at the ship stats very much on these skip bombers. These things look quite nasty at first glance, backed up by having a relatively decent torpedoes to back up the high explosive skip bombers. So this is the Theseus, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick little preview. Again, I will reiterate, this ship is in testing. I'm currently on the PTS server. It will be on the live server in live testing in update 13.5. So don't be surprised to see yourself getting hammered by a Theseus from the air during the next update. So if you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. I hope you enjoyed this preview. I look forward to seeing you all.